Hi, I'm Mort Cooper, your host on Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. In studio with me, this is part 2, Curing Hopeless Voices. How do I do it, and why do I do what I do, and when do I do it? I'm the only doctor in the world, unfortunately, reporting cures in the whole world. I'm on my own. Nobody else in the world reports a single cure. Hard to believe. On all medical sites, they guarantee there are no cures of the condition. I report cures ongoingly for 35 years, year in and year out. Why do I have that accomplishment? Because I'm doing it naturally, and I'm saying the problem of spasmodic dysphonia, which is the strangle voice. Your eyes pop, your neck spasms, your face spasms, your voice spasms, is coming from the fact that you're misusing your voice and that it's not a medical problem. It's as clear and clean as that. David Walsh, you're in studio with me, part 2.
Yes, yes.
You've been diagnosed by one of the best in the field, Gerald Burke, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, chairman of the Head and Neck Division, whom I know. Burke referred Gail Pace to me over 14 years ago, and she had adductor and abductor. You have, according to Dr. Burke's findings, adductor,
yes.
Squeezed. And my position is that your condition is possibly curable if you listen to what I'm telling you to do and you fully cooperate. Gail Pace was Dr. Burke's patient. She had the worst type of SD, spasmodic dysphonia. She had adductor, the squeeze type, and abductor, the breathy type, and it's mixed. One type is considered hopeless. 2, you're out of the door. Forget it.
You are.
She's been cured for 14 years. I sent her back to them, and they confirmed that she had a normal voice, cured for 14 years. Paul Ward, the chairman before Dr. Gerald Burke, diagnosed Marjorie Whitman with severe spasmodic dysphonia. She's on a DVD. If you want, you can get a free DVD, or you can see the DVD on my website, voice-doctor.com, and it's 7 minutes there, 2 hours. If you have spasmodic dysphonia, send off for the DVD. Come to the office and you can get a free copy. It's 2 hours.
And it's worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely is worth seeing and hearing.
Whitman was told to have surgery. She declined. She had 13 different doctors. She found me. She's been cured for a number of years. I sent her back to Dr. Paul Ward. He confirmed that she had a normal voice.
Yeah.
He said that what I'm doing wouldn't make a difference. It does make a difference. Yeah. And the issue is that direct voice rehabilitation, it's not speech therapy, it does make a difference, a vast difference. And it's the only approach in the world that's reporting cures, ongoing cures, for 35 years. So unfortunately, I'm the only doctor, the go-to guy, and they come from all over the world. You met these people coming into my office.
I did.
From all over the world.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that was amazing about it, was because, you know, there is no one else in the world that is, you know, doing this, but you. They are, the cross-section of these people is incredible, you know, because they have nowhere else to go but come to you. So
they tried Botox, and Botox is not working.
They did. It's several of them. There's one gentleman from Laos who I met who actually, I think he traveled like half a day to go to get his Botox shots. He would do it.
He had 10 Botox shots.
Yes.
And one gave him a voice for a day, and one gave him a voice for a week.
Yeah.
He gave up Botox. And
yeah.
you met a young man who had his Botox, 14 Botox shots at Vanderbilt, and one at UC San Francisco. He has
yes.
no voice. The Botox.
No, he does not. No.
And
I think the thing about that which is so sad is, you know, that he doesn't have anywhere to go. I mean, he doesn't have. You can't treat him yet because his cords are completely paralyzed.
Right.
And you could down the road, but what does he do until then? He can't even speak.
He has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But the patients coming in from all over the world are indicating that the Botox is not effective from their clinical...
From their perspective.
Right, and they want another approach. They've tried Botox, like Mary Anderson at UCLA. She's had 54 Botox shots.
I think that's the record, isn't it?
No, it's not the record. But it's interesting. But it's all well-intentioned. That's the interesting aspect, with the best of intentions, because the belief is that Botox for SD is the state-of-the-art treatment of choice. It may be for a number of people. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing the downside of it, the downsizing, and I'm seeing the patients who have been Botox and want another alternative or a non-invasive procedure.
Yes.
I have no negative to the Botox shots if it's fulfilling and giving you what you want. But I'm seeing the outcomes that are not fulfilling these patients, their dreams and their hopes and their voices. And the shots are hopefully the state-of-the-art treatment of choice, but there's a question of whether it's working for these patients, and it said it's 99% effective. I'm not finding that clinically. But we're talking now about your condition.
Yes.
You've been to Dr. Burke. He told you had SD, and he did say it's neurological. He
absolutely did, yes.
And he said it's incurable.
Yes, those were the first two words that were put to me, were, neurological and incurable. And the only treatment of choice, as you mentioned, is Botox, and which I think was just interesting to me that was all that was the possible choice for people was I just didn't understand the concept of putting a needle in your throat. I kept saying, and that can't possibly be a good thing. And I think, quite frankly, considering the business that I'm in, the fact that there are so many people that come out of this with what you've termed the Botox voice, which is very breathy and all of that. I mean, I can't imagine what would have happened in my career if I had agreed to go ahead and do that treatment. And because there's so many people in my business that have this condition, I feel for the ones that actually decided to have the shots.
Shadow Stevens had the SD condition.
Yes, he did.
Henry Fonda had it. I worked with Fonda. He took a year, fought me all the way. He went on to do On Golden Pond, I Love Your Laugh, That's Your Voice. I told you to change the pitch of your voice and get nasal resonance.
Yes, you did.
And I changed the breathing. Yes,
and that actually, I think one of the biggest problems for people with my form of SD is of spasmodic dysphonia is the lack of breathing. You're actually contracting, actually pushing out as you're speaking, and as you're speaking, as opposed to speaking with the on the breath.
Going in.
Exactly, and I'm pushing it out.
There were SD patients, spasmodic dysphonic patients, have the wrong take on how to breathe and how to focus their voice, all in the lower throat. I agree with the medical community that characterizing spasmodic dysphonia as the lower throat. They call it a dystonia. They call it a rare disease. David Walsh, I cannot cure a rare disease. I cannot cure a disease. I cannot cure a neurological problem. I cannot cure what they believe is a molecular problem, biological problem, or a basal ganglia deficiency or chemical imbalance in the brain. I cannot in any way help cure a dystonia. The dystonia means you cannot change your voice. You could change your voice. I show time and again that all these patients can change their voices. Then what happens is they don't like the new identity, the new voice. I'm saying this is an identity voice problem. It is not a medical problem.
And I'll speak to that because the interesting thing that has happened between the first part of the show and the second part is in our break, you had mentioned to me in the first part that I was lowering my pitch because of the environment we're in, because